M is a brand new project we did from last year for the Museum of Arts and Design, MAD, called MAD. It features a font that we designed in-house. A designer, which we named Joe Mariana, designed it last year. And it's a building that's in Manhattan. They specialize in doing crafts that, it's a museum where they have crafts. So it's like chairs, furniture, usable art. So that means that artists and designers have done different things through the years using different materials, different points of view. So we wanted something we could change all the time from a very simple form. So for the museum's logo, trying to come up with a way to write MAD, we took advantage of the fact that it's sort of a square building on a circle. It has 3 straight sides and 1 curved side, shaped like that. And so we said, okay, if you take 3 circles and 3 squares and kind of move them around, you can get that, right? Just made out of circles and squares, simple, pure geometry. And it also looks a little bit like the bottom of the building, which has those circles and squares and straights down there too. And so we said this logo doesn't look the same every time. It changes every time. Different colors, different patterns, different materials. Sometimes it'll be easy to read, sometimes a little harder to read, sometimes dimensional, all these different things. There are pictures in it. Never the same way twice. And then this is the typeface that Joe did called MADface. It basically just takes those 3 letters and works out a whole alphabet. It's not the easiest thing in the world to read. This 9 here sort of looks just like the 7. The V and the M sort of look alike. The W. I mean, it's funny. It goes to show you that you can almost read anything if you actually have to. It's hard to read this if you look at any letters alone, but in context you can sort of tell what they say, right? New York City is mad. Let's go mad, different things. Then once we had it as a typeface, we just typed long paragraphs in it that you can still read, actually. So we decorated buses with this when they opened in September 2008, banners, and then all the stuff you get in a museum, like brochures and invitations, all sorts of different things. Books, packaging, shopping bags, neckties, t-shirts, signage. And then for the regular signs like this one, we use another typeface called Futura, which is just sort of a normal looking typeface that it's easy to read, but sort of is made, again, similarly out of circles and squares. And then downstairs is a really nice electronic signage system that my partner Lisa Strausfeld did. So the next one is this typeface called L. It's for N, the National Trust for Historic Preservation. This type is called LMBDR, for Ludwig Mies van der Rohe, designed by Chester Jenkins, a good young type designer, for this historic site, again the same era as Lieber House, designed by Philip Johnson, called the Glass House. It looks like that up there. This is the website we did for it. Visitors guides, all using this very straightforward architectural looking typeface. We designed a book that had a glass front on it, and then a visitor center where you enter through a series of glass doors to get to it. So it looked and felt like a glass house. O is for Barack Obama. I was asked to do a poster for Designers for Obama, and I was really, you all know that big poster that Shepard Fairey did that has Obama's face and says hope underneath it, right? That's hard to beat, and I didn't even want to try to beat it. So I didn't try to come up with a new way of drawing Barack Obama. So I was like on a car trip with my family, and I was saying, well, maybe I could just do something that was all just type. And if you're doing all type, you have to use Barack Obama's official typeface, which is Gotham. He is the best designed presidential candidate in the history of the world of candidates for anything, as far as I'm concerned. That campaign was so tight from a design point of view, it just blew me away. And one of the things that was tight about it was that, like, if you saw people waving signs anywhere, downtown Cleveland, Detroit, Texas, California, Hawaii, New York, Florida, they're always in this typeface, designed again by Tobias Ray Jones, called Gotham, right? And so I was trying to think of some poster we could do, and he had this thing called the 50-state strategy, where he was going to campaign in every single state, even if there were states where they never vote for Democrats, he was going to go down there and get some votes. And so we did this poster to celebrate the 50-state strategy, where we just renamed all the states. Alabama, Colorado, Ohio's right there. Wisconsin is down there. So I knew they would never do this. they liked it, but they never did it because they thought it looked too stuck up, right? You know, they were afraid that he was going to take it. Now people were scared he was going to move in, that they didn't want to scare him even more, right? So there's hardly any design here at all. It's mostly just making up funny words in a car while you're driving with 3 kids and your wife. So this is another sports thing. This is for Princeton University. They have this tiger as a logo they were thinking of doing that no one really liked, because people get all confused about animal face logos. Because the eyes don't look right, or the mouth looks like it's drooling, or it's not mean enough, or it's too mean. It looks sleepy. It looks not right. And so I didn't go to Princeton. I went to Statesville, University of Cincinnati, and so I don't know anything about the Ivy League, except they're sort of like preppy there, right? So I said, okay, no one really can agree on what this tiger is supposed to look like. You know how those preppy people wear like those eyes-out shirts with the cloth shirts with a little alligator on it? He said, okay, we just do tigers instead of alligators, and that's how you guys get your logo. So the key is in this typeface called Memphis for Princeton, and then they have these different silhouettes of tigers that combine with the different words and the different indicias and different products, and kind of creates this whole bunch of things that all together with their colors, orange and black, add up to Princeton University, right? So artists for this thing called Rodman Foundation, I designed a whole series of libraries for these guys. I use this typeface called Franklin Gothic, by Morris Benton, and it's these are school libraries in Bronx, Brooklyn, parts of New York where the schools are really neglected and not well done. And this foundation decided to go in and fix up the libraries and really make them nice, so at least somewhere in the school there'd be a nice place to hang out, a place to learn, a place where librarians could really do their thing. And they asked me to do the graphics for them. I thought they were doing a logo, so I designed this logo for the whole program as like a little library with some products on the side where that eye looks. And so the libraries usually have signs somewhere that kind of welcomes you in, like over the door like that. And you see the exclamation point next to the windows on the door as well. But then we decided to do these murals over the shelves. Because they're elementary school libraries, the shelves only go 6 feet tall or so, then the ceiling sometimes goes 6 more feet. So we said, okay, you got 6 extra feet to do something with up there. So we just thought all the different things you could do. So we did portraits of kids from the school and put them up there, photographs sometimes, paintings other times, different kinds of photographs, sometimes kind of like doing more like artistic photographs. Then we asked an artist to come in and interview the kids and draw them by hand. And so he did all these portraits with quotes from all the kids. And so you could just go to this library and do nothing but read this mural for hours if you want. Then a friend of mine, Christoph Niemann, did this series of murals with subjects from the thing where books are incorporated, like Abraham Lincoln's beard, is a book. The book's hiding all those things, the wings, the mouth of Moby Dick, sails that ship. Different sorts of things, silhouettes that go all the way around, quotes that go all the way around, even just these crazy installations of objects that go all the way around, each to make these things really fun. And they open them and they have like this big party every time one opens, it's fun.